and I also explore a lot about German position to Ukraine, and I haven't direct answers. Is mostly people in Germany, they ready to give weapons to Ukraine, or they ready to give more places for refugees, because they understand if they don't will support Ukraine, they will have refugee problem. But now it's like um, totally um, uh, totally situation when people from local governments to our letters and to our calls said that, oh, we will explore and it's a question of budget and we will call you later. So can you please explain about your work and about directly what happens in Germany, because German position extremely important in this situation of diplomacy war and war which we have with Russia in Europe. Please, Julia.
Yes, Katerina, many thanks for inviting me to join the circle. Good morning, good afternoon to every one of you. I'm Julia, and I'm originally from Kiev, Ukraine, but now since 14 years in Berlin, citizen of Germany. My family, however, parents were all in Kiev. Right now, dad stayed there, and my mom and grandparents became refugees. They're with me here in Berlin. So it's a little bit personal background. And right now, I'm with every day turning to be more and more an activist for Ukraine, because I feel the following, that there are two different pairs of shoes. One pair is help to refugees, humanitarian aid, and I feel all people are engaged to a certain extent. They either donate money or they maybe host families. They help families to find places to live, to find places to work or study. So from this perspective, I have a feeling the support is very, very big. So if you say people in Ukraine are dying, almost everyone will say, this is horrible, of course, let's help. But then there is a different part of shoes, which is like help, which can really stop the war. Because if we zoom out for a second, we will see helping refugees is basically very necessary help, but it only helps to minimize, mitigate the damage which the war is causing. But it is in no way helping to stop the reason why refugees are coming. It's basically the war. So that is a totally different set of activities where actually we as individuals do not have that much power to decide, because it is on the side of our governments. It is help on two main fields. First, arm Ukraine or not arm Ukraine. And secondly, cut Russian oil and gas or not cut Russian oil and gas. And here is obviously completely interesting split. And as Anna Varava just said, this incredible term, cultural diplomacy, there is also certain kind of like lost war for this, I feel, in Germany. And also there are a lot of narratives in German media, which I can imagine have been curated by someone very deliberately, that are more pro-peace, that we are for peace. We are against war, we are for peace. That's why Germany shall not engage in any sending weapons and everything. So this is very, very dangerous narratives which are here, which require a lot of explanation and correction, let's say it in this way. You also probably have heard about the huge scandal which right now is happening around the Chancellor of Germany, Olaf Scholz, because he is the biggest blocker of German aid to Ukraine. And right now it turned out that he single-handedly has completely changed the list of weapons which German industry is capable of providing to Ukraine. He had removed a half of the list, 20 pages from 40, which mentions the most critical supplies which Ukraine had been asking for. He just left some kind of sharp pencils. So it is, yeah, I do not want to go that much into detail about that, but what I'm doing with my project, Voices of Ukraine, it is an Instagram project where, which started as a platform where simply ordinary Ukrainian people can send little video message. Basically, they record it like that. They say what happened to them, and they have maybe some appeal to the West. So it was first only Ukrainian people who are inside of Ukraine. But right now, it is already been opened to people who are maybe of Ukrainian origin or anyhow related to Ukraine or simply care deeply, and who live in other countries, who are citizens maybe of Germany, EU, USA, who can also voice their message of support there. And it is slowly turning into a place where I want people to feel first that they are co-responsible for this, that people in Germany are co-responsible, because every day our government is sending 500 million euro to buy Russian gas, and they simply do not want to get rid of this dependency needle. So this is like where I feel, okay, we are responsible because our governments continue doing this. So that's why we also have the power to change this, because we have chosen those politicians and they are per law our representatives. They must listen to us. So that's why a lot of call to action which is running through my project is actually a call to put pressure on politicians. And given that on the international scene, from the biggest players, Germany's position is the most disappointing one. Like every day they're losing their face internationally. So there is a lot of call to action. And yesterday I have co-created a website where you find a template to German government together with the emails of all politicians, where any person can come and within 2 minutes you will have your email ready. It is a little bit different to initiative which Katerina was doing, because they have sent basically a message to 2,000 politicians, where I want every politician to receive 2,000 messages in their inbox for people of Germany. So this is basically the other way around. So I will share with you the link to this. And if any of you has some connections to Germany, kindly share it with all your networks, because this is the only way how we can be so loud that they cannot ignore us, that they will need to listen to us, and they cannot simply silently proceed with their cynical agenda, because they only can do it if we are silent, if we look away, if we pretend politics is not our thing. It is our thing. So this is like where I am right now. I have shared with you a little bit already in the chat where I am, and if any of you can help me with the connections to people who have ideas how we can make sure that politicians are listening to us and don't ignore, please reach out, because Germany is this critical space. So this is like my message number one. And there is a second message, my project on Instagram. I will share the link. Please follow it. Please help to spread the word. The more ears our project is having, the more impact potentially it will have, because there are continuous some call to actions. If you also know someone who can be a multiplier, who can share the powerful video there, please kind of feel yourself empowered to be a little ambassador for this project. All help is very welcome. And last but not least, my classmate, who is a medical doctor in Kyiv in Ukraine, he had already been engaged in collecting a lot of medical supplies for his fellow doctors who are basically there on the ground, doing their work in the situation of the highest danger. Right now, he has a little fundraiser to collect funds for 10 helmets for doctors. So it is like right now, like deadline is tomorrow, it is half full. So if it is possible, maybe you will be able to support with some little amount and help him. I know this person personally. He is for real. He really has like this capacity to help people on the ground. So feel free to support or maybe spread the word, because for one person it is a lot, but for all of us together it might be doable. So yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Julia. And it's really totally important now work in Germany, and we continue this also conversation about European policy and what institutions we must push more. European Parliament or Bundestag or Landtags, or for example, directly people from other European countries, maybe Mr. Pizon also explain us what strategy will be better. Now I ask to have a word Uriel Stern. He also worked with humanitarian projects for Irpin, and now he in the United States. And then we will move in forward to Mrs. Irina Miroshnik about her initiative, and also maybe she also explained her position about how business help from Europe to Ukraine, and then we will move in forward for with other speakers. Thank you, Uriel. Your 5 minutes, please. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I see some people meeting me and now me, like founder of Foundation Kvitna, non-government foundation Kvitna. Kvitna is 6 years old non-profit organization in Ukraine. We're working for healthy and happy women, Ukrainian women. It's usually we're working for a program every year checking against breast cancer. But you know, in the time of the war, we change some our mission.